Killer's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago. As I approached the pool, the killer suddenly started sinking. After it started headbutting, I saw it out for blood and was terrified. When the pirate hat and Victor came running up, I let out a scream.
Got it!
But fear appears to be less in here at this statement. Mr. Bloom, weren't you afraid when you saw the victim with blood coming out of him? My, that's a very good question. I was shaken after witnessing a murder, yes, but then the blood seemed to disappear. Disappear? And why do you suppose that was? Simple. It was because of the pirate hat. After the killer put the hat on, the cloud of blood disappeared.
Objection!
And how exactly does that work? How should I know? I'm just telling you what I remember, Blue Boy. Wait a minute. Well, whom was this blood that Mr. Plum saw actually come from?
Take that!
Consider this. Maybe the one who was bleeding wasn't the victim. I beg your pardon. What kind of ridiculous nonsense is that? There was no one else in that pool besides the victim. No, I wouldn't say there was no one else. It is an orca pool after all. What? Then where is this alleged injury on the defendant? I'm not sure. If simply wearing the pirate hat made the blood disappear, then the blood must have been coming from someone on his head. Ah! Orca's head? What am I on about now? Please think about it again, Mr. Plume. Think back to what you really saw. That is, the one who was bleeding was not the victim, but the killer whale. I remember now. There wasn't any blood coming from the victim after all. We did it! I think psychology and analytical psychology got us what we needed from her. That was a huge help, Athena. It's also pretty dicey for a while, though. Well, this is a surprise. The blood the witness saw was the defendant's, not the victim's. That's correct. And since there was no blood coming from the victim, there's only one thing we can conclude. Well, Miss D. Plume witness was not the moment of the murder as she claims.
Objection!
I thought you were unarmed, but it turns out you were concealing a sword all along. Nevertheless, it's far too dark to cut to the bone. Meaning? I grant that what the witness saw was not the victim's blood, but it proves nothing. After all, man being whammed doesn't always result in a wound that bleeds, does it? Death from internal hemorrhoids is also a possibility. He has a point there. If this decides me to a duel, via ship probably that white donor. And then evidence that proves the witness did not see the moment of the murder. Must be something Pink Phoenix. Corrected the victim's death record. The victim is always dead and her head running. That means he died something for Mr. Plume was watching her. That's Mr. Plume witnessed the place around 10 a.m. So someone can tell us about what happened for 10 and 10 a.m. only seen the footage from 10:09 to 10:10 a.m., which means some footage going further back that we need to check. Oh no! Of course, all the security footage be played for the court. All of the footage. Mr. Plume was witness to cloud of blood at around 10:10 a.m. But I believe the victim was already dead by that time. So your assumption is that the murder took place before Mr. Plume arrived. Exactly. The security camera footage starts at 10:10 a.m. when the aquarium opened. I believe there is vital evidence in the 10 minutes before. You're quite the gambling man, right, Donor? Are you honestly willing to risk everything on those mere 10 minutes? There are slimmer chances before, but when he puts it that way...
Hold it!
My boss is no coward, Prosecutor Blackwell, so I suggest you get ready to eat humble pie. Uh-oh. I can't back down now. Well, if the defense is that confident in its importance. Prosecutor Blackwell, the security footage. Fulbright. What? I have the rest of the security footage right here. Very well. Please play it for the court. Please have something for me. This is what it looked like at 10:10 a.m. The witness can be seen here. What? I'll just back the footage up to the beginning now. Because Mr. Plume had arrived yet at this point. Let's see if I can find something from before this point in time. Is that it? Yep, that's all the footage there is. Well, Mr. White, did you see what you were looking for? We got nothing. Well, I don't know. Those were the 10 minutes you placed your bet on. Did you see anything of significance? Did you see anything important? Gotta think about this carefully. And the footage we see, we can see nothing of importance in that footage. Just as I thought. You're right about that. This section was completely meaningless. It doesn't show a thing. That's why I didn't submit it as evidence.
Objection!
No, it's just the opposite. Hmm? What do you mean by that? In this 10 minutes of footage, something important that should be there isn't there. Detective Fulbright, this footage should have been submitted as evidence. What? Are you questioning the way I carry out my duties of justice? Mr. White, explain yourself, please. What is this very important thing that you say should be in the footage but isn't?
Take that!
The important thing we should see in the footage is the victim itself, Jack Shipley. I don't know about you, but I didn't see him get in the pool in that footage. Oh! That's right! If the victim is not shown entering the pool in this footage, it means that he must have been there by the skull walk during those 10 minutes. But no human being can hold their breath underwater for that long. Wait a minute. Are you saying... The security camera started up at 10 a.m.? The victim was already dead. coins. If that's the case, then when was the victim murdered? I don't know, Your Honor, but we do now know it had to have been sometime before 10 a.m. Therefore, this footage can no longer be called decisive evidence against my client. But there is no one else who could have killed the victim. Not necessarily. The defense believes that the true culprit may have been human. And we have evidence to back up our theory as well. To you now. I'd be very interested in seeing this evidence. This is trump card. The thing we found during our investigation yesterday. I wouldn't go as far as to call it decisive evidence, but now's the time to play it. Very well, Mr. White. Please submit your evidence. What evidence shows that the crime may have been committed by a human?
Take that!
What's this? A coin? Yes, a fake coin used in the aquarium's pirate show. We found it beside the pool. This coin is quite possibly the real mortal weapon. This tiny little coin is the mortal weapon? Mr. White, this is another one of your bluffs. As they say, the bolder the presentation, the less confident the solicitor. This is no bluff, and this isn't the only coin. There are 300 of these coins in all, weighing a total of about 7 pounds. This one just happens to have blood on it. Have the blood analyzed to see whose it is. Not yet. But there were coins scattered all around the body, and the victim had a head wound. Taking these things into account, I believe it has to be the victim's blood. So to put it together, we have about 7 pounds of coins by the side of the pool. All of them with a blood stain on it. I think the answer is pretty clear here, Your Honor. The defense proposes that the victim was killed besides the pool. The side of the pool? If the murder took place there, it would be difficult to say the orca did it. I realize you're trying to defend your client, but that theory is preposterous. How could 300 coins possibly be made to hit someone all at once? It'd be pretty easy if they were in a bag or something of that nature. So where is this bag the coins were in? Unfortunately, Your Honor, we recovered nothing of the sort from the scene. It's possible the culprit took it with them. They took it? The true culprit used the coins as a blunt instrument to commit murder. They then threw the body into the pool before the skinny camera started up. And then they left, taking the bag the coins were in with them. They got rid of the evidence that points to a human culprit to pin the blame on Ola. That was brilliant, Mr. White. You found a way to introduce the possibility of a human perpetrator. Yeah, somehow. So my luck holds out. Why Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't said anything. The possibility of a perpetrator other than the defendant has now been suggested. If we hold the possibility to be true, then what did Misty Plume witness? That's right. I saw the killer whale attack the victim. Just like it did a year ago, singing a song. I guess there still is that. But when somebody else has the culprit, all his behavior seems pretty bizarre. I wonder why she was doing the same things she did a year ago. Is it really that bizarre? What do you mean? To explain the inexplicable, all we have to do is turn our thinking around. Turn our thinking around, huh? Sounds good to me. Time to give the old turn my thinking around method a try. Instead of trying to figure out why Ola did the same things she did a year ago, I should consider the results that were produced by her behavior this time around. Sing a song, some headbutts, and bit the victim. If the real culprit wanted to shift the suspicion onto Ola, they would have needed to give people a reason to think Ola did it in the first place. Mr. White, as a lawyer, how do you explain your client's actions? I believe we should think of it this way, Your Honor. What kind of effect did Ola's actions have on the case? Very well, then why don't you explain it for the court? How did the defendant's action affect the case? Mr. Plume focused our attention on the orca pool because he heard the song. The Orca's act of singing the song created a witness.
Created a witness?
Isn't it possible that fabricating a witness was the real culprit's true intention? After all, Mr. Plume witnessed two things. He saw Ola headbutt something over and over, and saw the Orca bite the victim. The true actions of Ola's might have been the real culprit's plot to make the witness think the Orca wasn't attacking the victim.
Saying that the defendant was manipulated by the true perpetrator?
Exactly. And that would explain Ola's actions perfectly.
There's an Orca. Is it even possible to manipulate her?
Yes, there is a way to manipulate Ola's behavior with this.
Take that!
Is this a whistle?
Yes, Your Honor. Trainers that can use whistles to issue commands to Ola. But in truth, anyone can do it, provided they know the right signals.
That must be how they got Ola to do tricks for their pirate shows.
The true culprit hid the body in a spot that couldn't have be seen from the visitor's corridor. Then when the Plume appeared, they gave Ola the commands. In other words, Ola was manipulated by the culprit to perform a series of tricks. What? And as for you, Misty Plume, you were manipulated by the true culprit to play the part of the witness. No, but the Plume was set up. No, but the Plume, writer extraordinaire, was used. No. No!
Mr. Plume, please do something about your attire.
Oh, that was one wardrobe malfunction I did not want to see.
It would appear we need to shift our suspicion towards someone other than Ola. Muscular Blackwell, please have the blood-stained coin analyzed.
Waste your breath. I guess the Imposter Blackwell can't refute the possibility of a human suspect. You did it, boss! If the crime happened beside the pool, there's no way Orca could have done it! Now, if only we could find the bag the coins were in.
In light of the new discovery, it would appear that the Orca couldn't have done it.
Exactly, Your Honor. If the blood on the coin proves to be that of the victim, we can unequivocally overturn Ola's accusation.
Objection!
Overturn the defendant's accusation? I think not. My hair! My beautiful hair! Yesterday, a new inmate was brought into the prison. He said the moment to relax is when you're most vulnerable. What did this man go in for? He's merely a sneaky thief who enjoys the spot of fishing now and again. A white donor here would be easier to hook than any fish. That hawk sort of loved the judge's head. What's this? Looking from beforehand, some sort of bag? A bag? I don't think I'm gonna like this. This is a coin bag with 300 coins, Rowan. I think you were looking for this. How did you get that? I never said we didn't find it at the crime scene. The bag had blood on it, so Nancy, I had it sent to the crime lab. And does the blood belong to the victim? It does indeed, as is the blood on the coin. I knew it. So the blood on the coin did belong to the victim. The bag was open and the coins had all spilled out. But the bag alone wasn't proof enough to say that it was used as the mortal weapon. However, thanks to the defense of the coin, I'm more than satisfied that it was. Prosecutor Blackwell? Are you conceding that the true culprit committed the murder with the bag of coins? So you concede that the victim was put into the pool after his death? However, even with the bag, it doesn't change the fact that it was the orca that killed the victim. What? How can you still suspect Ola? You said the true culprit manipulated Ola's behavior. Ola isn't the kind of orca that would let someone control her. If anything, Ola used the victim's behavior against him to murder him. What? But are you arguing that the orca manipulated a human being? To prove it, I have summoned another witness. Marlon Rhymes. Take the stand. Marlon Rhymes is a witness? Well, don't just stand there, state your name. I told you I didn't want to be a witness. I thought one witness would be quite enough to prove the defendant's guilt. But apparently White Donald won't be satisfied until every stone is turned. Well, son of a... Alright, fine. If I gotta talk, then let's get this over with. Mr. Rhymes doesn't seem like a willing witness. I wonder what Prosecutor Blackcrow is going to have him testify about. So can we have your name and occupation for the record, witness? Ahoy, yo, 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 ho, ho! People of the law, time to testify. Telling my crew at the ship safe. Open penguins and the seascape. Cleaning and feeding, there ain't no end. But them brighter kids' toys I shall transcend. New animal keeper from the house of rhymes. I'm the master keeper, mountain with the rhymes. Oh my, I'm afraid I couldn't understand a word you said. Is that flip-flop music young people nowadays like? So close, Your Honor. So close and yet so far. Please proceed with your testimony, witness, without the flip-flop. Okay, fine. I don't want to do this, I tell you. I feel like I'm selling salsa out. About 10 a.m., I was in the staff room. I heard a loud noise from the pool room. I went to the door to look in. I couldn't see the captain or the Yorker. I saw a bunch of coins scattered around. Yorker knows there's a certain spot people stand to play volleyball with her. I think maybe she knocked down the stuff that was piled up there and hit the captain. So that gives us a little more info about the area around the Orca pool. The defendant made the stuff fall down. Overturned crates and assorted props were scattered all over the pool room floor. There's no doubt it was the Orca that caused the mess. But could she really have done that from within the pool? As I said, the Orca is the only one that could have performed such a feat. The pool and its room were tidy the night before, including its various odds and ends. But when our winding Marlin took a look-see, over 400 pounds of props had fallen. To move it all in one go would challenge even the brawny prisoner in the cell next to mine. What is he, the jail gossip? So, I did 400 pounds of items fall all at once. I'll tell you. The Orca pulled on the cloth that was underneath them. A weight that would be all but impossible for a human to move. Was transferred to an Orca. During a friendly game of volleyball, the defendant made the crates fall. And the bag of coins that was among the items fell on the victim's head and killed him. The Orca then toyed with the victim's body underwater, which is what Misty Plume saw.
Objection!
But the witness only said he heard a loud noise. That doesn't automatically make it the sound of Ola making the items fall. Also, why did you only look in on the pool room anyway, Mr. Rhymes? Orca sometimes make a loud noise to summon her trainer. I'm still a newbie, so I don't have a security card to get into the pool room yet. So even if she tries to summon somebody, there isn't much I can do about it. I see, so the witness couldn't enter the crime scene.
Objection!
If Mr. Wimes couldn't enter the room, there's at least one thing he can't be sure about. The statement that the Orca was playing volleyball is purely speculation.
Silence!
Whether the Orca was actually playing volleyball or not is not the issue.
Traces of the Orca's saliva were found on the cloth that was underneath the crates. The important part is that the Orca is the only one that could have moved the items.
I have to discredit that statement somehow. If I don't, it'll mean that Ola was the culprit, even if the victim died beside the pool. At about 10 a.m., I was in the staff room.
Objection!
You say you were in the staff room, but is that really true? Of course it's true. Why would I lie about a thing like that? Mr. Wimes, have you ever seen this calendar before? Hey, that's... I see you recognize it. Yeah, that's the rifle calendar. It's a big kid at the Sip Sip Aquarium gift shop. Thank you for shopping at Sip Sip.
Mr. Wimes, please refrain from scattering fish around the witness stand.
Not to worry about this. Taco will have them clean up in no time. I guess that board comes in handy now and then.
Alright, Mr. White, we have our senior cute souvenir. Now, if you wouldn't mind.
No, Your Honor, this isn't my calendar. It was a wizard the witnesses, but it came into possession of a certain young lady. What? Mr. Wimes and this young lady first met each other in the food prep room. After a mishap, the calendars got switched around. They ran into each other at about 10 a.m. in the food prep room. So clearly the witness was not in the staff room. In other words, there's no way he could have heard the noise in the pool room upstairs.
This is the first I'm hearing about any calendar.
Mr. Wimes reports we're keeping it a secret.
Right. This transgression will not go unpunished. So, Mr. Wimes, you didn't hear the noise of the equipment falling after all, did you?
Okay, I admit it. I didn't hear the noise in the Orca room myself. But somebody told me about it. Who told you about it? It was... Unless you tell the truth, Mr. Wimes, I can't save Ola. I'm sure you know how sad that would make Miss Buckler. I heard about it from Sasha. What? From Miss Buckler? But that doesn't make any sense. What is going on here?
It's the trainer's own words that drive the Orca into a corner. How do you like being bitten by your own client? Why, Donna?
I certainly didn't see this coming.
What timing?
There was something I want to ask Miss Buckler about the Orca.
Prosecution calls the trainer of Miss Sasha Buckler to the stand. Yes, I suppose it would be a good idea to hear what the Orca trainer has to say.
I don't know what Sasha's going to say. But I'll just have to meet it head on, whatever it is.
We will take a 20-minute recess while the witness is summoned.